Hey guys, what's up?
Hello and welcome to the ISCA Tucson Sound Art Cup Series here. That is Paul Olson talking to us. I don't know if you know, Paul, we're actually in the middle of the broadcast, just getting started out here, so we appreciate you dropping on by. But Big Al, how are you doing this evening? Daytona once again.
Wow. Back at Daytona, and Brian, I will tell you, this one's probably going to hit a little bit different.
Oh, it very much is. I mean, we saw a very, very exciting race on Thursday, and I have no doubts this is going to be just as exciting. I mean, a little less cars out here on the track, but still, I feel like we're going to see some two wide, some three wide racing. All going to be about strategy. What did some of the guys that participated on Thursday learn from that race, and how are they going to bring it to this Thursday race?
Yeah, I think the key is going to be trying to avoid the mayhem. This race, although it should be 80 laps long, really it's only going to be one lap that matters, Brian, and that's going to be the very last one.
Very much so. Of course, just like Thursday, we had 80 lamps featured. Now, as we tackled the Tucson Sound Dart 200, big shout out to those guys for coming on board as the main title sponsor for this event here. Stages are going to be 16, 32, and of course, race ending 80 to 81, barring we don't have any green white checkers, which definitely could be something that could take place. 5 sets of tires, four actually going to be down in the pits. Fuel window around 32 lamps, depending on the draft. Of course, the leader's going to be using a little bit more fuel, but definitely have all the hallmarks of an exciting one here tonight. Definitely want to take a look at the points here for just a moment. Looking at the actual cup standings here, Chris Severa with 5 wins. He's got more than everybody here. 455 points right now. Kenny Powell not far back from him with 444. He's got 2 wins. Third place, Jose Acosta. Fourth place, Ryan Strunk. Fifth place, Paul Olson. Sixth place, Brian Johnson. Seventh, Gary Adamson. Eighth place, Darren Mullins. And ninth place, Chris Johnson. Rounding out our top 10 here, Greg Wachinski. Hopefully he'll have some speed here tonight, definitely to move up the board here. But some pretty tight points racing there, especially for that fifth or fourth, fifth, and sixth place position there in the point. Taking a look at the Super Cup season standings here, Chris Severa last week grabbed his 10th win of the season. He has had an amazing season so far. Right now has over 200 points on Kenny Powell, who is in second place in the points with 3 wins. Josh Schaffner has 3 wins in third. Jose Acosta, 2 wins in fourth. Eric Kling, 2 wins in fifth. Brian Johnson with 1 win in sixth. Ryan Strunk, seventh. Eighth place, Greg Wachinski. Ninth, Paul Olson. 10th, Gary Adamson. Moving a little bit further down the board here, Robert Pattengale 11th, Al Kozlowski's 12th. Of course, Al, I don't believe races on the Saturday series anymore. Darren Mullins 13th, Chris Johnson 14th, 15th Kenny Thompson. Haven't seen him in a while. 16th Frank Flores. Also haven't seen him in a while. Justin Levine 17th on the outside looking in. But definitely going to be an exciting one where anybody is really going to have the chance to win tonight, Big Al.
Yeah, that's just the thing about these races. I think the reason why we're not seeing as much is I think a lot of people are Daytona'd out, man. This place is, it can be very, what's a good word for it? Toxic. That's it. I think that's the word I'm going to use, Brian. Because man, just good things don't always happen here. So hopefully tonight, everybody will have packed their patience, man, and will be able to make it through these first two stages and keep the majority of the field intact. So that way, when we get down to that 10 to go, we'll have maybe 10 to run it.
Yeah, and with less cars, hopefully we won't see as much, mistakes and things of that nature. But I still feel like everybody's going to be gunning for it. I mean, the Cup season is almost over here. I mean, I do believe, I think just a couple more weeks here, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely excited to see what these guys have in store for us. I know that they're going to bring all the strategies out to play here. I know a lot of guys are very definitely tired of Daytona, I think, in a lot of ways. And that's something that we don't hear a lot, Big Al. Usually when we're at a track like this, people are just loving it and eating it up like it's candy. But it seems
Yeah,
like a lot of
well,
guys have been having some struggles here lately.
yeah, I think this candy was made with salt instead of sugar because I think it's just not really sitting well with everybody.
No, I think you're 100% right. I mean, we've seen a lot of crashes. I know I've been in quite a few races this week in the truck, and have seen a lot of crashes and things. Probably some of them are my own doing. So but I mean, it's a frustrating track, especially when you get damage in these cars in particular. Your race is essentially going to be over, depending on how you hit. You really need to save those tires to where you don't break that toe link. If you do that, your race is essentially going to be you're going to be have your hand tied behind your back essentially.
Yeah, I was in one of these A Open races last night, and of course we run 70 laps. But I think there were 25 cars in that race when we started, and by the time we got down to two to go, there were only 5 cars that were actually in it competing for it. So drivers are just going to have to be cognizant of the fact that it's really easy to get taken out on this track, and they got to be aware. So that way, like I said, they'll be able to be around here once we get this thing. In the later stages. It is going to be a night race. Current track conditions are looking like it's going to be somewhere about 70 degrees, 71 degrees on the track. But I tell you what, Brian, why don't we go ahead and step away and hear that national anthem there?
The nighttime is the right time. Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We got the grid set here. Derek Jacobs going to be starting on the pole here, I do believe, for the first time in his ISCA career. Chris Severa outside pole, second place there. Third place going to belong to Greg Wachinski. Fourth place, Jose Acosta. Fifth place, Brian Johnson. Sixth place, Kenny Powell. Chris Johnson in seventh place here. Kendall Levron in eighth. Ninth place, Andrew Layton. And rounding out our top 10 here, Corey Cook.
That's going to put John Mullins in 11th with Chad Sullivan on his outside, and 12th, Paul Osen in 13th, Gary Adamson in 14th, and Ryan Strunk's going to round out this 15-car field. Just a lazy night here at Daytona. Going to be doing a little racing underneath the stars and the bright lights.
definitely going to be an exciting one here tonight. I mean, 15 cars, not a lot, but still, I mean, it's going to be some cutthroat racing out there. I think that that even might make the racing even more intense if you think about it, just considering, that means every position's that much more important.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's definitely going to make it a little bit more interesting as we go through the first two stages because, you got to be in the top 10 to get those points, even though that one Tucson Sound Art Cup is about to get over. We still have the remainder of the Super Cup season. So, drivers, all these points are still going to be very, very important. So, we're getting ready, waiting on the pace car to lead us on our ceremonious one to green.
Yeah, I was trying to focus there on Derek Jacobs, but it looks like he is maybe not gritting. That would be an interesting call here as we wait for the pace car to pull off of pit road here. Of course, as we mentioned before, I do believe stages are on laps 16 and 32, so that's going to be very important for these guys to get the necessary data to know what how long they can make it on a fuel run, what their tires look like. I mean, this is. Surprisingly, tires did matter a little bit on Thursday. We saw guys, take left sides. We even saw guys take left sides, and it kind of even hurt them a little bit. Thinking back to Don Avery.
Yeah, we saw a lot of different things occur on Thursday, but that was a lot bigger field. So now drivers are just going to have to be cognizant, be aware of what's going on around them. I think we'll probably see a little bit less team strategies here, but I can't wait to see who's going to partner up with who and if we're going to make the outside line work versus the inside line. Just a lot of variables here at Daytona once we get going.
Now, what did that cone do to Chris Severa? Knocking that green cone right out of the way there as everybody rolling off of pit road, getting ready to get this thing underway. And you're right. I think that everybody's got to figure out who's going to be your dancing partner, who is going to be the guy you're comfortable working with. That is definitely going to be the key, and something we saw even on Thursday. And a lot of this racing here almost is like a tandem draft. We kind of had a long conversation, I know, Thursday night about it after the broadcast, about how it seems like it almost reminds us of the 2011 package where a lot of tandem drafting going on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key, but also I'm just interested to see if these guys are going to battle each other, if maybe they're going to find themselves at least getting in a single file line for the majority of this thing. I think that will be probably the easiest way in the most fuel economic way, but also be interested to see how many drivers are going to come down pit road there once we get to the end of stage one, and hopefully we will be able to keep this thing caution free for the majority of the race. As the pace car leads us into turn 3.
It was really interesting what we saw there on Thursday was a lot of guys did take that opportunity to go down there on the fuel to grab some fuel there at the end of stage one, which we kind of were thinking that maybe that wouldn't be the case. But, of course, the more gas you put in, I thought that, yeah. The more gas you put in it, though, I mean, the less time you have to spend on pit road when you have to make another stop. So I think that's going to be something we're probably going to see here tonight as the pace car getting ready to go down pit road, field in the hands of Derek Jacobs for the first time. Green flag out in the air.
Yeah, Jose Acosta not really getting a strong start there as he is holding up that outside line a little bit. That's going to allow Greg Wyszynski to come on up and follow Chris Severa. Chris Severa will lead the pack. Oh, just like that, Brian Johnson now got his nose on the back of the 27, and he is shoving him through turn 2.
And this has got to be a weird occurrence here for Derek Jacobs. Not used to being towards the front of the field, but he has definitely shown a lot of pace at Daytona as you see the 4 really laying into the back end. And I know we talked about this on Thursday, and we'll probably talk about it again here. The differences of the manufacturers of these race cars, you see it's easier to push, I think, with the Fords.
Fords are just going to historically outperform the other two manufacturers.
Almost some problems here. It's Chris Severa coming down the side draft a little bit, almost doors the 4. Luckily, that did not happen as Derek Jacobs leads the first lap here.
And the 4 is just shoving him all the way through the tri-oval there. As they come into 1, you got them stacked up side by side. Severa trying to make that outside line work, giving everything that he can. Look at how he's keeping his distance from the 27, trying to avoid that side draft. That top line now totally being organized. Looks like it's going to have what it takes to get it done.
Greg Wyszynski definitely probably really used to working with Severa.
The 42 of Jose Acosta comes right down onto the 27 of Derek Jacobs. Man, that just really unfortunate right
Oh,
there, man.
still
Jose
wrecking.
Acosta just got a little bit beside himself coming through that turn, and then unfortunately he just doored the 27. Let's take another look at that one, Brian. Yeah, I don't know what Jose. I mean, Jose, can you see? I guess because for whatever reason, I just don't think he was aware that the 4 was down there or the 27, but he just came right down on him.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he got loose from the dirty air or something, but it was just all of a sudden, about right here, I do believe, he gets a good run up there, and it just, yeah, I think he thinks he was clear. He thought he was clear there, but it was not clear at all. I mean, the 27 was still there, and the 42 proceeds to continue to wreck. Oh, and look at that. He got
Oh
Chad
my
Sullivan in
God.
it and John Mullins. Both of those guys taking some severe damage because of the 42.
Jose Acosta not going to win the most popular driver award here tonight. I guarantee you that. That's just unfortunate because we didn't have a whole lot of cars, and I think just maybe 3 of them just kind of got banged up a little bit there for us. Also, to the detriment of
Unfortunate.
yeah, these guys wanted to get those laps in so they could kind of get a gauge on exactly how the tire wear was going to hold up. Tire wear here really hasn't been that big of a deal. I mean, I do know a lot of drivers were changing left sides just to make it easier to get off a pit road. And if you remember on Thursday night, we did actually have a collision that was actually incurred because the driver did actually spin exit and turn pit road. So
Yeah, that is 100%. Yeah, we could see that again, especially under green flag pit stops later in this thing. But man, what a chaotic start to this event. Just my heart goes out to John Mullins and Derek Jacobs and Chad Sullivan, all just being, they were the bug on the windshield this time around.
yeah, and Jacobs kind of had a similar situation like that occur to him on Thursday night. You know, you were saying that he was actually showing pace and doing pretty good. It just goes to show, man. It just takes but a split second here to just make one's fortunes turn into misfortune.
Yeah, just you would have thought that the spotter would have been telling him, "Hey, you're side by side with someone," but I guess maybe the spotter was out there eating some ice cream or something.
Oh, we got ice cream? Yeah, just very unfortunate. But you know, Jose Acosta looks like he is actually exiting pit road, so he is going to be able to continue. I think the 27 also is going to be able to remain in the fray. The only car that I haven't seen actually take back off yet is the 77 of Strunk. I believe he is on pit road. We're just going to have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, that's interesting that Strunk. I mean, I don't really get to see him involved in it too much. Might have missed a moving part in that whole exchange. But yeah, a lot of guys still on pit road trying to get some damage fixed, getting ready to go a lap down. I know if Derek Jacobs don't get off pit road now, he's getting ready to lose a lap here. I think he got off just in time.
Yep, looks like the last 2 cars, I believe it's the 36 of Adamson and the 77 of Strunk, look like they're now making their way back off of the access road. That's going to show us with just 2 drivers being shown not on the lead lap, Jose Acosta and Paul Olsen. Paul Olsen's still on pit road. Not sure what's going on with that ride tonight.
Yeah, I didn't really see any problems there with Paul Olsen at 43. Maybe missed a little bit of a something there. I know he definitely did show up to race here. Pace car lights are out. Getting ready to get this thing back underway as we exit onto the backstretch. And Greg Wychinski and Chris Severa are going to make up the top 2 spots right now. Kenny Powell going to be playing a really good role here. 24. He's been one of the ones. I hate to talk about him, but he's been one of the ones that's been really frustrated this week with Daytona, and I think that this could turn it all around. You know, just one good finish here in this series.
Whoa, easy, cowboy. Let's don't go saddling up the horses just yet, man. We're but 5 laps into this thing of 80. We still have a long way to go. So, I mean, I know Kenny is definitely frustrated, but you know, I think it's going to be a lot more frustrated drivers as this thing continues to wager on in through the evening.
Yeah, 100%. I think that those guys were being, it was really intense racing there in the beginning. One good thing about it, though, these guys up here, they're all teammates, essentially. And that's going to definitely help out. But, I mean, you got some guys up there that aren't necessarily on the same team. I know Kendall LeVron, Corey Cook, green flag back out in the air. Chris Rivera waiting until the last possible moment. What a start there from Greg Wachinski. Brian Johnson doing an excellent job, giving him some great pushes there up on the top line. And already, Wachinski starting to pull off.
Now looks like we're going to have that two-car breakaway, as you see. I meant two-pack. But looks like the 64 and the remainders are starting to bring it up a little bit.
Surprised, we saw the 64 get involved in that accident. We saw the 27 involved. It looks like they're still able to continue driving. One thing we said about it, I mean, these cars are tough. You just got to watch out to make sure you don't break that toe link. And I think if you don't do that, you're still going to be good to go. Kenny Powell doing an excellent job on the bottom, giving some really good pushes here to the 62 side by side, exiting turn 4.
Yeah, that top line once again starting to get itself organized. And once that...
Severa loses it.
Loose! He is through the grass. That is going to be a penalty for Severa, as he would have had an improper pit lane entry and exit. Plus the 36 is actually on pit road as well. Chris Severa definitely not going to fare well for that one, but all he would have to do is wait right now and hopefully be able to get back on the lead lap. We'll have to monitor his progress and just see exactly if he does actually take a penalty for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to monitor that, keep that on. I'm wondering what happened. Maybe just a poor bump from, Kenny Powell. I know Powell, I think, was the one right behind him.
Yeah, Powell might have shoved him a little bit too hard. But like I said Thursday night, though, with these cars, sometimes it's almost like trying to push two marbles together. So if you're not directly dead center on that, you're going to either hook them to the left or to the right. And looks like Powell just sent him down to the left going to the inside. And just like that, Severa is on pit road. He will be serving his penalty for improper pit entrance.
That is unfortunate, too. I mean, he had no control. Luckily, he didn't smack a wall.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll be able to serve that and actually get back out and still only lose a lap. We'll be watching to see he's still holding. I'm assuming that will be a 40-second hold. Yeah, don't think he is going to make it. Looks like Chris Severa is indeed going to go a lap down.
Greg Wachinski, your leader right now, and it looks like we've had a somewhat of a breakaway here. That top 8 cars have driven away from the rest of the field. Chad Sullivan, who was involved in an accident earlier, had some front end damage. Still out there and in this lead pack, so you're definitely happy to see that.
Yeah, and what you're not going to be happy to see, and that's Chris Severa, because once he enters back onto the racing surface, Brian, he is going to be a sitting duck with no draft partner anywhere in sight. The closest car to him is going to be the 42 of Jose Acosta, and Acosta might have damage, so Severa might have a chance of catching him before the field catches Severa, but I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see here as Corey Cook testing the waters, going a little bit high to see who's going to go with him.
A little bit early, though. I think the best play right now, man, just stay in line, save gas, and just, try to make up time.
Looks like Kenny Powell thinking about going with him here. Look at this.
Yeah, but when you do that, though, you're just going to allow that the end of that pack to catch up, because what they're doing when they do that is they're kind of like putting a parachute out there on that lead 3.
Here comes Corey, going to be trying to line up a run, and look at that, able to get side by side with the 48 of Chris Johnson.
Kendall LeBron looks like he's going to go high behind Powell. Now we got 3 and 3 lined up.
And that's all you need. We saw it on Thursday. You didn't need many to make that top line start to work.
Andrew Layton is going to decide to tuck down in the end. Wachinski goes high to block the 51. This could spell trouble. We are 3 wide going into 1. Wachinski's flopping away through the field there. He has totally got to get back in line so he don't lose that draft.
Looks like he's going to settle in back on the high side here. One thing we did see, the top line was not as strong in the beginning of the race on Thursday, but it seemed like as the race went on, as the darkness started to set in, that's when it started getting really fast on that top line.
Well, if you commit, if you got guys that are committed to run the top line, that's going to make a huge difference. I think right now guys are just trying to get in where they fit in. You know, taking a page out of Keselowski's playbook. I think you're just trying to go with who's fastest.
Hopefully that's the only thing they take out of Al Keselowski's playbook from seeing from Thursday's race.
The 24 just coming real hard there onto the back of the 51, and that's just going to cause him to check up just a little bit. Sorry about that, the 61.
Still side by side, 4 cars up on top, 4 on bottom, so pretty equal showing here from both lines, but it looks like the 61 definitely edging a little bit forward. He's going to drop down to the bottom right in front of the 4 of Brian Johnson.
Right in front of the brothers Johnson there, so that's going to change their strategy a little bit. As the 48 was definitely shoving on the 4. Now they're going to be loving on that 61 a little bit, but Kendall LeBron wasting no time. He is now attempting to push Powell to the front. Powell is definitely running high now. It looks like he's going to try to break that side draft, and looks like the 28 might just give him an edge, and he's got Wachinski right back into the picture. He is right behind him, tucked in there. That top is working.
Yeah, definitely. And we talked about those Fords, you know, being really good at pushing, having a little bit of a square front. Definitely working good on that back bumper of Kenny Powell. Definitely glad to see Andrew Layton. He's up here in the mix right now, sitting in 7th place. We saw a lot of guys on Thursday that we usually don't see up front finishing well.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when you come to Daytona. I mean, it's like Talladega. You know, it's like I said, the freaks come out. You know, everybody gets a shot because we're all superheroes when it comes to super speedways. But right now, though, I'm wondering, the 4 is still pushing the 61, Kenny Powell, out to the lead right now. That's got to make him feel really, really good. You think he kind of took Severa out? You think that was intentional, or you think that was an accident?
I think that was definitely an accident. I don't think Kenny Powell would do that.
Pretty close in the points.
You're right. That is something to consider, but I don't see Kenny Powell doing something like that. But, man, look at that. The top line gets completely clear. All 3.
Wachinski looks like he is going to be in the middle. He's going to leave Powell out to dry. Powell's going to suffer the same fate that he did. We are still 3 wide coming out of backstretch. Here comes the 21 car. He's going to be coming in there with a head of steam. Wachinski and Powell going to be door banging just a little bit there. Still 3 wide. 21 dives to the inside. Powell goes high.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I mean, you saw all those guys able to get clear, but then Wachinski not able to, and then Kenny Powell had a little bit of a handling condition, and that has changed everything here as Chris Johnson goes down to block the 28.
Yeah, the brothers Johnson definitely pulling out to a lead here. They're going to try to break that draft as the 84 of Andrew Layton is going to be coming in. He's got the 21 of Chad Sullivan in tow. These guys are the only 2 on that bottom row. But look at that top line, Brian. It is starting to do what the top line do. But look at these guys. They're all over the place, bobbing and weaving there.
Yeah, a lot of wiggling going on right now as these guys are fighting hard. It almost looks like this is the end of the race, but no, white flag is out for the stage, though. Corey Cook drives down to the bottom. He's not going to have a lot of help. There comes Kenny Powell, thinking of going with him, but Kenny really loose. That's one thing we've seen a whole lot of. If you try to change directions really, really quickly, seems like the cars don't handle that very well.
Oh, look at how much the 61 dropped off the pace. That whole top line is gone. The only way these guys are going to have any shot of getting back in there is if they try to probably fall in line, but I don't think the 84 has that in mind, as he is going to be continuing his march along the bottom. And I'm going to tell you what, also, Chris Severa, this stage couldn't come to an end soon enough for him because he is almost in danger of going a lap down. I think he might be able to keep himself away, but I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on when the caution actually flies. Of course, the 10th place position, Derek Jacobs, he's about 11 seconds back from this. There it is. He just crossed the line.
Saved by the bell. Chris Severa should buy that flagman a beer tonight. I tell you that, man.
He definitely should. And you know what's really cool about this, Big Al? Brian Johnson swept at Daytona. He won stage 1, he won stage 2, and he won the race on Thursday. Here he goes winning stage 1 of the Saturday race. How about that?
Well, he definitely has a car that's faster out front, and that was the one thing that was to his benefit on the Thursday race. Because even Clayton Hoffman, I watched Clayton. Clayton kind of short pitted the stage there at the end of stage 2 to get out in the lead. He didn't take as much gas, but he even admitted himself he just didn't have the edge that he needed to be out front. His car was stronger pushing, so that's what he elected to do. I don't know if the 48 is going to do the same thing. We'll just have to, I guess, continue to watch and see what happens, as Chris Severa looks like he is going to get one of his laps back.
And we'll have to see what the pit strategy is going to be here. Is everybody going to go down pit road? But in order to find out, let's take a quick brief step away and get some attention to the sponsors here. We'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like pit stops are underway. Brian Johnson going to win the race off of pit road. So everybody brought it down. That was kind of interesting to see. Wonder who did get the lucky dog here. I do believe actually Jose Acosta received the lucky dog.
We got Brian Johnson in the booth. You want to talk to him?
Sure thing. Brian Johnson, our stage 1 winner. I mean, you won stage 1 and stage 2 and the race on Thursday. Are you trying to do a repeat here tonight?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, we'll see. Got a pretty fast car. Got a brother behind me pushing, so we got the lead back here. So we'll see what happens.
It's definitely been quite a show so far. I mean, we saw Chris Severa get turned a little bit there, and a little bit of hectic nature out there. Are you a little worried, having your brother pushing you?
No, not at all. Not at all. So.
Well, definitely seems like you're comfortable. We'll have to see, though. I know you're going to be having Corey Cook lining up on your back bumper here for this next restart. Great job to you, man. Who can we give a shout-out after your performance here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys up in the booth. Doing an awesome job. Shout out to Tucson Sound Art and the boys back at G&G.
All right, man. We definitely appreciate your time, and good luck to you. I have no doubts if we don't see any unforeseen circumstances, we'll be talking to you later.
All right, guys. See you.
That was Brian Johnson. I think the pace car lights are out this time by, so everybody's going to be double filing it back up, and we're going to be getting this thing back underway as we get ready to start stage number 2.
And this is going to be interesting, because now you got the brothers Johnson that are actually going to be separated, and so it kind of reminds me of that Talladega Nights thing, shake and bake, Is the 48 going to be there for the 4 tonight, or is he going to want to get himself a chance to be in the winner's circle? I think that's going to be the one thing that we're going to have to kind of see how it plays out, because I don't think the 48 had a good finish on Thursday, if my memory serves me correctly.
No, I think you're right. And one thing about it, on Thursday, Clayton Hoffman mentioned, he really wasn't trying to pass Brian Johnson there on the last lap. Will Chris Johnson maybe be a little different here? We'll have to wait and see. I think it's all going to be, last lap, anything goes. Teammates are out the door. Have to hope that some of the guys that got into the accidents earlier got some of that damage fixed.
Yeah, and hopefully Jose kind of gets to sober up a little bit and straighten out his driving line. Just all in fun, I always like to rib Jose every time I get an opportunity. The ISCA is a big old dysfunctional family. As the lights are off on the pace car, we will be getting ready to kick this thing back off again racing. Brian Johnson will be taking us through that Geico restart zone.
Yep, we're exiting onto the front stretch right now. The pace car getting ready to take its trip down pit road. And here we go. Brian Johnson gassing it up, and he goes a little bit early there. I think Corey Cook knew what he was trying to do. I think that Johnson was trying to go a little early so Chris Johnson could get behind him, but that was not able to happen. Corey Cook foiling that attempt.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that's going on here now, so it's going to be interesting how this whole thing plays out. Chris Severa shoving the 27 up to the front. Brian Johnson left out there all by he lonesome. The 61, though, very loose. He's below the double yellow. This could get interesting. He's going to lose a ton of spots here. Looks like he's going to be tucking in behind the 28 of Kendall LeBron.
Yeah, we saw Ryan Strunk earlier, you know, I do believe was a lap down. I do believe he's gotten back on the lead lap. He's sitting right now in 5th, the 77, up on the top side, pushing Chris Johnson. And we've seen Strunk. I mean, he's had a lot of pace at a lot of tracks recently. Been loving the growing that we've seen from that car. But look at the 84, Andrew Layton on the bottom being pushed by Derek Jacobs. The bottom line starting to try to surge.
Yeah, Derek Jacobs actually making up a lot of positions and showing that he still has the pace. Remember, he was actually taken out inadvertently by the 42 of Jose Acosta. But look at the brothers Johnson up on the top trying to make it work.
They got really, really close to that wall. I got a little worried there for a second. I think the 48 was doing too good of a job pushing that 4.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to make sure that they don't allow that opportunity for that side draft, and you'll see them. They're going to actually go right up top. Here it is. They're going to stay away from that bottom line because as long as the top line stays away from the bottom line, they're going to be a little bit faster now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also a safety thing, too. You know, you want to try to move up a little bit as much as you can. That way, if a guy on the bottom bobbles.
Chris Severa gets into the back of Derek Jacobs, sending him into the back of the 84, but all is well, and they are still rolling.
Wow, what driving ability there for Derek Jacobs to be able to keep that machine going, and also the 84, you know, to keep that machine pointed in the right direction. One rule we always say, don't push the pusher. Looks like that gave a lot of momentum to the top line. The top line surging right now, but here comes the 84 back side by side with second place Chris Johnson.
And I'm going to tell you that the dirty air in these cars has been playing it's been taking a toll on a lot of drivers all week long. These cars are super fast, but for whatever reason, that air just makes them super squirrely.
Yeah, it definitely does, for sure. I mean, it don't matter if you're actually behind someone or not. I mean, even for the 84 right now, Andrew Layton, there's air coming off the sides of those cars that are on the top line that are causing that bottom line to have handling issues.
And that bottom line is falling way back as the top line is working itself very, very good. And I didn't think it would be this early on that we saw it actually materialize. But, hey, guess what? Paul Olsen's back into the fray again.
Definitely glad to see that. I know he's 21 laps down right now, but hopefully everything's fine with that camp. But look at this. I mean, Jose Acosta, you know, not on any of these guys' Christmas list right now, but he's back up to now 4th place. I'm shocked that he didn't get more damage out of that whole incident. Maybe he was able to get the repairs necessary, but he's looking competitive right now as he sits right behind the 77 of Ryan Strunk. But it does look like the top groove has definitely solidified its strength right now. Of course, we mentioned before about, you know, as the night progresses, it has gotten dark out there. What are the track temperatures there, Big Al?
Looks like the track temperature is going to be sitting at about 71 degrees. You got the wind that's going to be out of the south at about 3 miles an hour.
Pretty cool. I mean, actually a little bit cooler than what we, I think, saw on Thursday. That could definitely change the handling conditions for these race cars here. Brian Johnson, he is trying to go back-to-back on the stages and back-to-back for the wins here, as we still have, I do believe, 6 or 7 laps to go here in this stage.
Yeah, but that top line, man, it is very squirrely up there and super racy. So watching the 61 now, he is contemplating if he's going to come down into the bottom, but at least I think he's going to make it 3 wide for the time being.
I think he decided against it here as the bottom line is just falling off of cliff. And there's no way to get up there. I mean, if you see them driving up there, you're like, man, I wish I could get in that train. You have to wait until the whole line passes you because there's nobody's going to give you a gap to get in.
Nobody, absolutely nobody's going to.
This ain't the interstate, you know?
Yeah. You might wave your hand out the window, but it ain't going to have all the fingers.
Oh, went to the wall, Corey Cook.
And Cook's just been having a hard time here keeping that 61 under control here tonight. I mean, I guess that Ford, is that a Chevy? I think it just got a little bit too much power for him there sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Chad Sullivan, though, looking like he's going to make the pass on John Mullins, goes through the middle. Chris Severa moves up to the top line right in front of Sullivan. Of course, Severa is a lap down. And look at this. These guys are scrambling. Look at Kendall LeVron drops down to the bottom in front of Chris Severa.
Yeah, they're trying to get that bottom line organized there so they can kind of try to reel that top line in. And Severa's going to be pushing LeVron all the way down the backstretch in order to make that happen.
Coming up on a lap car here. I do believe that might be Paul Olson.
That is going to be Paul Olson, and that's going to make it a little bit tricky. So Paul's going to have to make some decisions just about where he's going to get into this thing because, I mean, these guys are super racy, but I don't think there's enough room out there for 3 wide right now. Paul Olson goes down below the double yellow, smart move. That allows racing to continue, but look at Chris Severa shoving Kendall LeVron.
Yeah, look at that. The bottom line was looking terrible. And now it is back, and it is in business, and just the right time for it to be, too, just considering, I do believe next time by we're only going to have 3 laps to go here in the stage. I think Brian Johnson, they're getting a call to action right now. They better go.
Yeah, don't worry. That top line, they're going to try to get it organized. Brian Johnson definitely knows anything. He has got a super fast car. That thing is a sled, so I don't think we should be counting him out just yet. Because just when you least expect it, I do believe that top line is going to get organized and mount a charge.
Well, it definitely looks like it is disorganizing as we speak. Deteriorating is probably the best term. As the 4 gets a little wiggle there. Look at that. The 21 deciding to go up to the top here. No one really there to help him. Parachute going to be hitting that race car. Chris Severa doing an excellent job pushing the 28. I bet Kendall definitely going to be owing that man a beer after this race.
Yeah, and Jose Acosta getting a little bit outside of the 5 right there. And also 24 of Kenny Powell getting a little bit close to the 77 or strunk. Like I said, these cars get a little bit squirrely out here, so everybody's having their hands full, it appears, at this point on the racetrack.
And you saw Greg Wachinski went up to the top, and Jose Acosta followed right with him, and they kind of went right in front of the 21 of Chad Sullivan. But I don't think Wachinski wants Jose pushing him. He went right back down, now in front of the Ryan Strunk here.
Yeah, and that top line is not organized, and I don't think it's going to be a factor. But look at Chris Severa still shoving Kendall LeVron. I think Kendall LeVron right now, because the white flag is out for the stage, looks like he is going to be he's going to have to beat himself, I do believe.
Just a little correction here. I do believe the white flag comes out this time by, so we will have one more lap of racing.
Oh, you just couldn't wait to correct me, could you?
Oh, no, you know it. I got to, the assistant, I sometimes as the assistant, I have to that's my victories,
Yeah.
But you know that Chris Severa, what he's got to have on his mind right now is getting that lucky dog, and I think that he's definitely been doing exactly that right now.
Yeah, he's just got to stay clean. He doesn't want to get caught up in anything here towards the end of this that would actually prevent him from getting that lucky dog. And then I think he should go after Kenny Powell.
Yeah, and I remember, us talking to Severa a little bit, I think, over the last week, and he was talking about coming to Daytona. He said, I'm really not concerned with winning. I've already got 10 wins on the season. I've got a really good playoff picture ahead of me. I think he even said that he was willing to push someone to a win. So maybe that's what he's trying to do right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be pushing the 24 to the win. I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably not, because he knows that he is the one that is really closer in the Cup Series standings. I do believe only 11 points separating those two.
And that top line still trying to get organized, but that is going to be the end of the stage. Kendall LeVron, your stage two winner, sorry. Andrew Layton's going to be in second. Derek Jacobs third. Greg Wachinski's going to be in fifth. Jose Acosta fourth. Kenny Powell sixth. Chad Sullivan seventh. Brian Johnson eighth. Chris D. Johnson ninth. And Ryan Strunk's going to round out those top 10 point span positions. It's just how unfortunate how quickly the Johnsons completely got drugged to the back of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, they were completely in control. It was like it was going to be Brian Johnson winning another stage. But glad to see a new face, getting the stage win here. Kendall LeVron definitely earning that. Going to be definitely wanting to shake the hand of Chris Severa after that. I know Severa not going to be wanting to spend much time doing all that, though, as he's going to be getting his lap back here. And pit stop's going to be taking place here shortly, so we'll be right back. And we'll be hopefully talking to Kendall LeVron.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and yellow flag pit stops have just taken place. Kendall LeVron able to win the race off of pit road after a stage 2 victory. Do you believe Big Al is going to be able to chat with Mr. Kendall LeVron?
Hey, Kendall's Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got a copy, buddy.
Man, how does it feel? You got yourself that second stage victory, man. That's got to be feeling pretty good out there.
Yeah, pretty good. The car feels amazing. I don't think I don't need to make any adjustments or whatever. It's just got to play your cards right, put yourself at the end, and make the right moves.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, how's the cars handling out there? Looks like people are getting really swirly. Is the air really that big of a factor?
Yeah, it depends on how they got their car set up. Like, if it's where you're pushing someone and you basically pushing the air under their car, you'll notice they wobble all over the place. But thanks to TWR Kenny Copeland that built this set, no matter who puts the air underneath the car, it's not going to wobble or anything. It's good at getting pushed and is good at pushing as well. So I don't have to worry about myself being wobble all over the place.
Yeah, awesome, man. So hopefully you'll be able to keep that thing out front in the clean air and everything will work out, man. I know you got to get back to work, but who you going to give a mini shout out to while I got you here?
Get a shout out for Kenny Copeland and everybody at TWR for giving this setup out. It's actually pretty amazing. But yeah, clean air is awesome, but I'm gonna fall back. I don't want to lead the race.
Well, Roger, that sounds like a wise choice. Stay out of everything, man. Good luck to you, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of this thing.
10-4, bud.
That was Kendall Levron, your stage 2 victor, and interesting decision to try to go to the back. I don't know. I mean, there's kind of two schools of thought, Big Al. Is it safe up front? Is it safe in the back? I don't think either one's safe.
Yeah, if you're not in the lead, I think personally I'd like to be in the back. That way I kind of have a chance to kind of circumnavigate the wrecks and things that occur on this racetrack, because if you look at it, you really don't have a lot of time to make a decision, man.
Oh, yeah, it's just microseconds. I mean, these guys are going 200 mile an hour around this place. I mean, definitely wow.
I'd say the two cars that I would stay away from tonight, though, is going to be that 24 and that 42.
You know what's funny about that? Take the 24 or reverse it. It's the 42. So I don't know if that's got something to do with it. Base car down pit road, green flag, out back in the air. Kendall Levron up through the gears. Good start there for Chris Johnson. He's got, I do believe, who's that right there behind him? I do Greg Wachinski. Hopefully Greg Wachinski can complete this whole race. I know that usually he has to take a step away.
Oh, they are definitely beating and banging. There are a lot of checkups on that top line right there, and I totally understand why Kendall's going to want to try to get out of the chaos and slip on back to that back, but he's just going to have to figure out when he's going to do it. I'd drop a load of double yellow right there and make it happen. But he's still getting shoved right now by the 84, and unfortunately the 48 looks like he was having a little bit of a blinking problem there.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought he was playing the Magic Man over here. 77, though, drops down to the bottom right in front of Brian Johnson. Kendall Levron still in the lead. He's got the 84, Andrew Layton right there pushing him, and you got Derek Jacobs also there on the bottom line. A lot of wiggling, though. That is for sure. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys are wiggling a whole lot more than I think they did on Thursday, which I don't know if that could be, due to track conditions.
I don't know. That wind is blowing out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour, but this definitely would be considered big wiggles. I think that's what we're going to call this race right here.
And there goes Kendall Levron doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He drops back to the back right in front of Chris Severa. Severa, of course, just got his lap back.
And I think he's going to stay right back there as well, try to conserve fuel. That's another thing. To the guys that are in the back, they're not having to cut through that air, so that's going to allow their fuel mileage to play out a little bit further. Not sure why the 43 is off the pace, but he is not running with the pack right now.
You see the bottom line starting to lose that momentum again, but here comes Chad Sullivan, drops down to the bottom. Chris Johnson still having a bit of a blinking issue here. That's got to be a little disconcerting there for the 5, having to follow around a car that you don't know if he's there or not sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I know people's dads that are like that.
Wow, that got dark really quick. But the bottom line is starting to make a surge ahead here with Chad Sullivan as its leader. But Chris Johnson now up in the lead, the other Johnson brother. John Mullen's also doing pretty good up there on that top line. He's got Corey Cook right behind him. Hopefully Corey Cook made some adjustments to kind of quell some of those handling woes. We see the 77 drops down to the bottom behind Derek Jacobs.
And I think this is all about strategy now. I think a lot of people are just slowly they're biding their time. Everybody's just kind of getting in line and no one's really trying to push the issue right now. I think the next thing that you're going to be looking at is drivers will be starting to figure out when to pit.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the question here shortly that a lot of these guys are going to be asking themselves as the bottom line starts to surge ahead. Chad Sullivan might be able to lead his first lap tonight. I don't know, though. Look at Johnson. He gets a heck of a run. It's going to be a close one. I think Johnson's got it. Hopefully the end of the race is like that, Big Al. And there he goes again. Chad Sullivan getting some good runs. And, what's crazy about this is the 84 is not really pushing him, just kind of letting the air bubble behind those cars do the work.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to maintain. Well, there's a nice little shove there from the 84. But you see the distance that the 5 actually put between him and the 48, and that right there, they will actually watch this top line here. Once it gets that pull, they're going to actually just run right up here on that bottom line like a freight train.
100% on that top line. That's where the runs come from, is on the straightaways. But it looks like, no, Chad Sullivan going to lead his first lap tonight. as the racing continues here. That bottom line starting to surge ahead here. Where's Brian Johnson? That's the question here. He's back there right behind Kenny Powell. Looks like he's playing it safe.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, I think they understand. A lot of these guys got bit real bad on Thursday, and if you get bit, hey, babe, if you get bit real bad, you're gonna learn to kind of not stick your hand in that animal's mouth, and I think that's what these guys are doing right now.
Oh yeah, Daytona. I mean, we are in Florida. There's some gators out here. Don't stick your hand in its mouth.
Yeah, you know, Big Al always says that you got to be available at the end of this thing, and I think that's what these guys are definitely trying to do. They're trying to put themselves in a position to make good decisions. So that's what you want your driver to do. You don't want your driver out there being too rambunctious. You don't want them taking unnecessary risks. You want them to be smart and to be patient, because right now the next big obstacle is going to be green flag pit stops, and I think we're about 7 to 8 laps before that pit window is going to actually make it so that we'll be able to finish this thing on fuel.
Yeah, of course, right now we're only 8 laps into this run. Curious what the strategy is going to be. I know a lot of guys are going to be trying to work together to get down pit road. 32 laps is the fuel run. So, yeah, you're right. I think that's when the fuel window is going to open. Do you go immediately, or do you try to go as long as you can? Just, because you never know what a caution could come out. But, I mean, we even saw that on Thursday where Al Kozlowski, went down a little bit earlier than everybody else. Caution came out, and he came out as the leader.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be your strategy. No matter what, I do believe you and your teammate have to stick to that.
100%.
Especially on a track like this. You're not going to want to put yourself out of pocket.
No, you definitely, and you want to go in a group, because, I mean, if you don't have people out there to help you, you're going to be sitting, you're going to be getting caught like you're sitting still. So a lot of these guys got to be in there, each other's ears, talking about it right now, because, I mean, everybody seems to be in a little bit of a take-it-easy mode right now. So now's the time we got to conversate. When are we going? What is the strategy? We got to stick to it. How much fuel we got left? What are we doing when we do the stop? I mean, do we take lefts? Do we take rights? What are we doing? Are we taking 4 tires? What are we doing?
I'm taking left, and I'm just getting enough fuel in this thing to make it to the end. Big Al, my strategy is I'm going to ride as long as I can, keep that driver out there on the track. We're coming down. We're taking left sides only, putting in a splash of gas, and then we're headed on back out.
And one thing about it that's very difficult about this racetrack, too, is you're talking about making all those adjustments, taking tires off and putting just a splash of gas in it. That takes some clicks on that black box, and it's hard to do that when you're moving 200 mile an hour following right behind somebody else. But, you have to be able to do it. That's where one of the, advantages comes from having an actual crew chief kind of doing all that stuff for you.
Oh, wow, the 61 way up into the wall there.
He's been having that problem all night.
That's going to cause that whole back line to check up, man. The 64, very lucky that he was actually able to go down below that yellow and get back up there. But if there were any momentum on that top line, it's all gone now. I just felt it leave the room.
Oh, yeah. It's like somebody opened the window and it just flew right out. And, that 61, he's had that issue all night long. He keeps dragging on that wall. I don't know if that car is just really tight. I don't know what's going on, but something is definitely wrong with that machine right now.
I think it might be the dirty air, Brian. I mean, you just got to attribute something to it, and you do see when these cars all get together in a line, I mean, they will make you do weird things. We're actually experiencing a lot of that here this evening.
See, John Mullins moves up to the top line right in front of Chris Johnson. What's really interesting, even the bottom line is starting to split up a little bit here. You can see some gaps in between some of these drivers. And I think that comes as a result of that top line, too, kind of taking a little bit of the side force off of some of these race cars and kind of pulls them back a little bit here.
But the 48 of Chris Johnson, now he is starting to shove that 64 of Mr. Mullins.
48 laps into this race, soon to be on 49. So Not too much racing left to go, but still actually a whole lot of racing left to go. I mean, this thing has been flying by quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So Brian Johnson now coming back up behind Chris in the 64. Now that top line looks like it's getting way more organized than it's been here for the last couple of laps. Which is kind of, you know, I don't know. I guess that means we're nowhere near green flag pit stops.
I don't know. I mean, we have seen some of the guys. I know I was watching practice a little bit earlier. Some of the guys were practicing pitting side by side, so we could even see that. I mean, sometimes at Daytona, you can get away with that. It is dangerous, especially if you lock those tires up. You really have to trust that guy that's coming in side by side with you.
Oh, there it is!
John Mullins, huge hit. Along with the
He did,
61, Greg Wachinski also involved.
I do believe Brian Johnson was also involved in that. We're going to have to definitely take a look at that one, Brian. And that's going to change everything because right now I think we are good to go on fuel right now.
I think you're right. Yeah. Let's see what happened here. See Chris Johnson giving some, probably going to give a bump here. On the exit of the corner, yeah, just caught him at the wrong place.
Looks like Chris got hit by Brian while he was contacting the 64 John Mullen, so it was a little bit of a chain reaction there.
Take a look back at this from Brian Johnson's perspective. Yeah, a little bit of a bump, pushing the pusher right there caused that issue. Unfortunate there for Greg Wachinski. John Mullins, man, definitely not an easy hit on the wall there. Luckily, I don't believe any of his toe links are broken. Looks like he's still able to maintain.
Yep, doesn't look like anybody's on the record. Looks like everybody's still making it around under their own power, so that's a good thing. But like I said, with that caution, actually that means we are going to be 31 to go, 28 to go, I do believe, at the line, and that will definitely make it on fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how many drivers are actually going to be takers of that.
I would assume everybody. I mean, if you're now good to go to the end, now's the time to go down.
Yeah,
it does look like everybody is coming down.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see anybody staying out. This is one of those times where, you know, the next thing is this is a green flag pit stop. So I'm still sticking to my same strategy. Actually, I think I'm just going to take fuel only here, and I'm going to try to get back out because track position is going to be still key, even though we still have a lot of racing left. I don't know, maybe a lot of drivers backing up on pit road as well, Brian.
Missing their boxes there. Looks like Chad Sullivan only spending just a little bit of time on pit road there. Spent, I do believe, 8.6 seconds. Andrew Layton, 7.1.
Yep. Those guys just taking fuel, you know, and looks like a lot of guys taking left sides because, you know, to them, track position is what they want. A lot of other guys comfortable in the back, so I don't think they're wanting to be up front just yet but, you know, I don't think you're safe anywhere out there right now.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions, and you know, just makes you a little bit more tense. And usually, with a track like this, being tense is not what you want to be. I mean, white knuckling that wheel, but definitely racing still on the docket here. We are nowhere near being done with this thing. Just considering, I mean, we still could see some race-ending wrecks. We haven't seen it quite yet. I do believe. I'm still wondering. I want to take it back to Gary Adamson. I wonder what happened to him because I see he's 44 laps down. Of course, Paul Olson. I'm still confused on what happened there, but we haven't seen any really race enders quite yet. Do you see John Mullins and Corey Cook are still on pit road here? I do believe Mullins going to be coming off now, probably trying to get some of that damage repaired after that accident. Tell you what, though, you look at that chassis, it doesn't look like anything happened, even though we saw him hit the wall.
Interesting. We got quite a few guys coming back down pit road. Looks like the 60, Severa, Strunk, Johnson.
Maybe a little unknown. Maybe they could, you know, I kind of understand this thought process because what if we get a green-white checker? That's, I think, what they're thinking. They're like, if we get a green, white, checkered, we come down again here, we might have enough to make it through a green, white, checkered. Pace car lights are out, though. Getting ready to get this thing back underway. Definitely has been an exciting race here. A whole lot different than what we saw on Thursday. We saw one guy kind of win all the stages in the race. This time it's not looking like that's going to be the same case here tonight.
Yeah, and even though it's a smaller field, though, here we are with 13 cars still running. All 13 of those cars are on the lead lap as well. So,
and a lot of guys that we don't see up front a lot, definitely making their presence known here tonight. Could we see a new winner? That's my question. I think it's definitely 100% possible. Pace car down pit road as we get ready to get this thing back underway. And there goes Chad Sullivan up through the gears. Green flag back out in the air. Sullivan wasting no time. Went a little bit early there. Chris Johnson not able to really suck up to that bumper quite yet.
yeah, that's one of the disadvantages of leaving your dance partner. Then you're just out there on the floor by yourself. But look at Derek Jacobs. Now he's up on the top there. He is trying to reel into 84. These two, the only two up on the top, as everybody else seems to be stuck down on the bottom line right now.
And that's got to be just, it's got to feel terrible when you're those two that are up there by yourselves in no man's land. Nobody wanting to really go up there and help you out. You see the pack just starting to drive right by you. But it looks like John Mullins is going to try to come to the rescue here.
Mullen's still showing good pace, and the same thing with the 61. Those guys were involved in that mishap there. I thought it was going to be a little bit worse for wear for them, but I'm just glad that they're still out there holding on.
I mean, I'm telling you, in the Gen 6 car, those kind of accidents, that's day done. With this car, the chassis is just so tough.
Man, Brian Johnson is really bobbing and weaving, and now Jose Acosta is going to come up. Not sure what Jose was thinking, and that is going to cause a big one.
Big one.
That's going to take out the majority of the field, and that right there is completely going to be sponsored by Jose Acosta. You can't pop up and try to block on these cars are coming with so much speed. And I think Acosta just thought that maybe he could get out there and try to jump up on that and kind of get in front of that top line. But when he did, they just had so much speed coming that Johnson decided to, I think he tried to go above him and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, let's watch this back right now. You see, Acosta jumps up. And he jumped up fairly early. Johnson could have seen it, but the thing is like, what do? You lift. Do you lift? I mean, you got a train behind you. You can't just lift.
Yeah, they can't see. The guys behind you cannot see what's going on. And if you do lift, you lose all the momentum that you had tried to garner by going up there. But this is just a unfortunate set of circumstances. Hopefully, the majority of these guys will actually be able to still maintain racing. Don't think we got a lot of people. Only one car, I believe, was on the hook.
Watching this from the perspective of Brian Johnson's cockpit camera, you see all these cars just sliding away. Man, that was a lot of cars involved in that one. Everybody coming back down pit road.
Yeah, with that, Brian, let's take a break and get a word from our sponsors here.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Chad Sullivan, I do believe, able to still be in the lead here. Chris Johnson spent about 4.8 seconds down in the box, taking fuel only. A lot of other drivers spent a lot more substantial time down pit road trying to get some damage fixed. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to be a little bit too worse for wear. I do believe Corey Cook is now a lap down. Looks like Derek Jacobs and John Mullins live to fight another day. They're going to be coming off of pit road. Greg Wachinski barely gets out off of pit road without going a lap down there. Of course, he was involved in that accident also. Pace car lights are out. We're getting ready to get this thing back going. It looks like Wachinski's going to end up having to do some qualifying laps in order to catch up to this field. I know Brian Johnson actually spent, I do believe, 78 seconds on pit road. So major repairs going on for that 4 car. Going to have, I do believe, 23 laps to go here once these guys go back green. And what a crazy race we have seen thus far. And here we are. Pace car soon to be heading out of turn 4. Back down pit road.
Gonna see if Chad Sullivan is going to try to get one of his signature restarts, or if he's actually going to hold up and wait on his partner. This time he's going to be pushed by the 62 of Severa, so I think he's going to want Severa back there with him to shove him. And there he goes, and Severa gets a great start. The 48 not moving so fast up on the top side as he has got the 42 behind him.
Yeah, I think that might have been all according to plan. You see Johnson slowed up a little bit. That way he can get behind 62. G&G lined up second, third, and fourth right now.
I think that was more about everybody trying to get away from the 42.
Could be. I mean, he has caused enough problems here tonight, and not a lot of people are going to want to push him side by side with him. And I do believe that was Andrew Layton almost came down on him. Yeah, I'll tell you, the way he's been driving tonight, ain't nobody going to want to dance with him. See Brian Johnson and Greg Wachinski up there on the top trying to work together here. But mainly everybody running on the bottom line.
Yeah, looks like Johnson's probably just trying. He knows he's got a fast car. He's got a sled. He's just been beat up a little bit. I don't know how much that's going to affect the performance and handling of that car. Looks like they're falling back a little bit off the pace.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Derek Jacobs was not able to catch the pack before the green flag came out, so he is going to be falling back. He's about 3 seconds back from the leader, a little bit more than that. But Chad Sullivan in the right place at the right time, but will it last? Because you never know. At the drop of a hat, Daytona could change. Kendall LeVron moves up to the top.
And he is being pushed by the 4, and he has Wachinski right behind him. That shouldn't leave Strunk down on the inside by He Lonesome. But I think Strunk's okay with that right now.
And it looks like Kendall drops back down to the bottom. Brian Johnson does it too. A little bit of a wiggle there, though. Hopefully they can catch the whiff of that draft to catch back up here.
Yeah, and they're not going to do that unless they get in line. The one thing is, the more these guys spin outside of line with each other, the further that lead pack is going to get away from them. As you see that the 5 and 77 now are considerably off the pace as well.
Yeah, it does look like the top four is getting ready to start losing touch to 5th on back here.
If the 28 and the 4 can actually just stay in line, they might still have a shot of catching up to that slipstream. But it's getting, I mean, the lead pack is getting further away. And that's not what you want to see, especially at a track like this, Brian.
Yeah, I think it's all about decisions here. And I think some of these guys have been making some of the wrong ones, you know, because as they're definitely losing track of this top four. I do believe, I think they might be outside of the window to be able to draft back up.
Yep, I think they're just outside.
Chris Severa doing a heck of a job pushing Chad Sullivan here. One thing about it, though, Sullivan's got to feel like a sitting duck, though, just considering he's got 3 teammates sitting right behind him. Because you know, when it comes to that final lap, all it takes is those G&G guys to leave him hanging, and he's going to be falling back.
I don't think it's going to take that long. I think right now they're just letting them be out front. You know, I mean, they're kind of like playing with their food, so to speak. You got a G&G shark bath behind him.
I mean, you already know Chris Severa and, you know, Kenny Powell, you know, they're going to turn Chad Sullivan. They're not going to just pass him. They're going to turn him. No, I'm just playing. They will. Hopefully they don't do that.
Well, yeah,
but definitely.
Get on Severa, though, because he actually came back from being at least 2 laps down, I do believe. And now here he is beating up on the leader here, trying to get him even a bigger advantage than he currently has. As you look, this first 4 cars is actually pulling away from the fray.
Oh, yeah, they have pulled away totally. I mean, 1.9 seconds back from the leader is Kendall LeBron. So, unfortunate that those guys are not going to be in contention here if it stays the way it is. Now, if a caution comes out, it will get them guys lined back up. But, man, it just seems like they have made some huge mistakes when it comes to, you know, racing each other hard. And, you know, that's one thing we see a lot at tracks like this. You know, you race each other hard, you're trying to get all these positions, and you find yourself being left. And then, you know, you just have to sit there with the bed you made.
Man, Severa still shoving the 21 around the racetrack. 27 of Derek Jacobs all by he lonesome on the backstretch. I mean, that is definitely a miserable feeling because, you know, you're helpless at that point. You're a one-man band, and you just can't perform here because this takes an orchestra, at least a 4-part concerto, you know, in order to be strong here.
No, it definitely does. You're 100% right. You know, he's just going to be sitting there falling back. And unfortunate, too, because, you know, he was our pole sitter, you know. Definitely, you know, a first for him, I do believe, in this series. And I was hoping, you know, I was kind of rooting for him. I was like, man, that would be awesome if we see Derek Jacobs get a win here. But now they're battling back again here, back here in 5th on back. I do believe Brian Johnson just took that 5th spot away.
No, Derek's not out of it yet. I mean, this is Daytona, baby. I mean, for us to sit here and think with 16 laps to go that we're out of the window for cautions, I think we'd be remiss. I think we are in prime caution territory here, because especially with 10 laps to go on this thing. Severa just burying the nose of that Fanatec forward into the back of the 21. Shoving him down the road. I mean, it did. Look how he just pops out just enough to cool it down, and then he re-engages once they re-enter the stretch, and then he starts shoving again.
Yeah, that's one thing we heard on Thursday, that a lot of guys were talking about how the temperature, you know, the engine temp was a concern. You know, that you know, you couldn't really just lay into somebody's bumper for a long time.
Yeah, especially, you know, you're sucking all that hot air in as well. You know, that's another thing, because this car has a huge nose on it.
100%. As we just were talking about Derek Jacobs, he is now on. He was just on the screen there for a moment as he's getting ready to be put a lap down. And these guys are going to catch him quick. I mean, looking at lap time difference here, Chad Sullivan, 46.3 last time by. Derek Jacobs, I do believe, hitting a 46.
A 51.65.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I mean, so he is some 4 seconds off of the pace, but you know that's what you get. I mean, these guys are pushing 190 plus miles an hour, and he's probably sitting at about a 174, 175.
And it's just a hopeless situation. I mean, he's just going to have to hope that he can get back behind these guys here whenever they do pass and be able to stay on their draft and hope that a caution will come out so he can get his lap back.
Yeah, that's going to be the key thing. He's going to be trying to suck up to that draft as much as possible.
He's running directly on the top line right now, all by himself, and I think he's doing that overly cautious, I'd say. You know, he doesn't want to get in these guys' way, but the thing is, in order for him to get the draft,
but in order to side draft off that wall.
For sure, but look at the pace difference here. If he was running on the bottom and those guys caught him and they had to go up to pass him, he could have fell in line and be able to caught the draft a lot easier, but he's not going to catch the draft at this rate because he's still running the top. He's not even trying to get the draft.
So he must have significant damage to that car.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that would be keeping him from trying to get in the draft. Definitely curious. And with that, I mean, it could. Luckily, there's no one else really a lap down right now. So either way, he will get the lucky dog if a caution does come out.
Here comes that second pack.
Yep, led by Brian Johnson, has Greg Wychinski, Ryan Strunk, and Kendall LeVron. And he still doesn't go down to the bottom. I mean, I would be at least trying to get some of that draft.
Unless he's waiting on somebody.
I hope not. I mean, we have 3 packs here. We got Andrew Layton leading that third pack with the 42, Jose Acosta and John Mullins right there in tow. Of course, they are actually, I do believe, almost 18 seconds back from the leader.
And Jacobs is down pit road, so I'm assuming he is going to be hanging his helmet up for this evening.
So unfortunate. Man, I hate that. Had really high hopes for him tonight. I thought he had the car to do it. Qualified on the pole. As now we have, I do believe, soon to be 10 laps remaining. And this is a completely different picture from the start.
The 21 of Chad Sullivan just has to be feeling so helpless right now. I mean, he is a sitting duck. I wonder if he knows it.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I am sure he knows it. I mean, one good thing about it, though, because that second pack is so far back, I mean, they're about 6 seconds back from the leader. So if Chad Sullivan gets hung out to dry out on the last couple laps, he's still going to finish fourth if he, makes sure he stays in their draft.
So do you think the G&G guys are going to try to make it a 1, 2, 3 G&G finish? Or do you think
yeah. Guarantee you there are. Why wouldn't they? I mean, when you this is you get 3-on-1. This is, a 3-on-1 match right here. No holds barred at Daytona. I'm thinking the chairs and tables and ladders are about to come out.
I'm seeing. I could see Chris Severa saying, "Hey, you know what? Chad is he hadn't maybe won as many races as I have. So I see Severa saying, you know what? I think I'm going to try to push him to his first ISCA.
You see him being charitable?
Absolutely.
Okay." I'll tell you what, though, he doesn't want to give any opportunity to Kenny Powell. I'll give you that.
We call him Chaplain Chris.
Is that what we call him?
Yeah. Tonight, 2 seconds ago.
First time I've ever heard it, yeah.
Like you said, I just made it up, but could happen.
I mean, it definitely could happen. I mean, I foresee them trying to make something happen, and maybe he throws a block, and that could really throw some things, some gears, or throw some wrenches in some gears.
He has to. I mean, if you're the 21, I mean, when that line breaks up, you've got to try to put yourself, to be in the front of it. I mean, I just don't. Otherwise, just going to throw it away. But we always say. I said it earlier when this race started. This is going to be 79 laps, but only the last one's going to count.
And also keep in mind, I mean, even though Chad Sullivan has got, the odds stacked against him right now with 3 teammates right behind him, on the last lap, those teammates are going to start fighting each other. It's not just going to be, they're not going to lay over. We know Chris Johnson, he's not just going to give this away. He wants to win too. Kenny Powell, he wants to win. So, I mean, what if we see, Kenny Powell, maybe not even Kenny Powell wanting to win. Maybe he pushes Chad to a win when they all split up. And that would give him more points over Chris Severa to try to narrow that gap.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a winner. I just want a participation trophy.
Well, hopefully he can get you one. We'll have you one made. We'll call it the Risk It for the Biscuit Award.
But Severa just shoving the 21 way out front. Now, I don't know what's happening to the 24 of Powell, but he is starting to fall back a little bit, and I don't think this is by design.
Him and the 48 are. I mean, this is really weird that they're getting to be in danger of losing the draft now. Now, if the Chris Johnson and Kenny Powell aren't there, then that makes this a whole lot easier for Chad Sullivan.
That's affirmative.
As next time by, we're going to have 5 laps to go. But I think this might be according to plan. I think that Powell and Johnson are trying to create more momentum. I think they're trying to
vortex.
Well, they're trying to get it to where they can get a better run and actually draft up to get side by side with these guys.
And here they come, just like that.
You see it. Look at the run. Those guys were dragging the brake and trying to create something. I think it's working, but Powell not there to take advantage of it. I think that
no, he's coming.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that they could have. That would have been a lot more successful if Powell had been on that rear end, and now he is there. So here we go.
5 to go, but Powell did actually give the bump to to Chris Johnson. So I mean, but now he is just trying to pull back up on that bumper.
It seems like Powell's not having the easiest time sucking up.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because he's not right there. He's not right there on the bumper like he should be. I mean, you can see he's leaving almost a car length of gap here. I'm wondering if maybe a different setup this Saturday instead of Thursday.
I think he's coming. I mean, I think they're doing exactly what they needed to do. It's just a matter of time before Severa ditches the 21 and pops up behind Powell. You think?
Well, I don't know. I don't think Severa wants Powell to finish in front of him. So I think he's going to stick with the 21. That's what it seems like he's doing right now. That seems like to be his, he's trying to go for a championship here, and he knows that Kenny Powell's only 11 points. I mean, look at that. Johnson trying to side draft.
And then Severa shoving the 21 for all that he has. He had him sideways, drifting through the turn, but the 21 actually able to hold on to it. But look at how much Severa's dropping back now. We're coming to decision times with 3 to go.
And here comes Brian Johnson right now on the high side. Severa lost a lot of momentum. He gets back to the 21's bumper.
And he just shoves the 21. You're right. I think he is definitely committed to the 21's bumper as he just came in there and pushed him like a stepdad.
Yeah, I think that definitely that is the case. But look at this. All of a sudden, Brian Johnson and company are starting to catch these guys.
Yeah, because these guys are racing side by side. And when they do that, they're going to lose that advantage of the guys behind them that are one behind another.
I'm wondering, I don't think they got enough time, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have enough time either unless Severa gets the 21 super loose. But you got to wonder, though, is Severa's plan to actually push the 21 to victory, or is Severa's plan to, oh, there he is. There he goes. He's up top. His G&G teammates coming with him.
Yeah, I think Kenny Powell probably not going to go with him though. Look
Here
at that,
comes
3
Kenny
wide.
Powell, 3 wide. Powell's going to be trying to get the side draft.
Oh, and look at
Like
this!
it's gonna
Almost
be-
some problems there. This could cause that second pack to catch up. These guys are bleeding momentum here.
Oh,
This is getting
Severa
quite scary.
loose. Severa and
Oh,
Powell
contact!
hitting each other.
And this is going to do even more to slow these guys down. I do believe Johnson's getting ready to come out of nowhere here. Final lap. Do they have enough time? Chris Johnson right now in the lead.
Severa now ponying up to the 21. He is giving him the shove. The 21 is trying to go high. He loses it. Hopefully he won't come back up. He is still down below the yellow. Caution will not come up. But here he comes, triangulating into that second pack. And that just took those guys out. At the lead is going to be the GNG 1, 2, 3.
Kenny Powell side by side trying to go for the win as they come onto the front stretch. This is a battle between 3 teammates.
And Brian Johnson just gave Chris Severa a little bit of a shove. These two still beating and banging.
Kenny Powell, your winner here tonight. I got to say, my heart goes out to Chad Sullivan. That was unfortunate. I actually want to take a look back at that. What do you think, Big Al?
Yeah, but Chad Sullivan, what about that whole second pack?
Yeah, I think Sullivan was trying to get back onto the track and wrecking ball.
And there he is right there. He is pedaling that thing, and he overcorrects, and he comes right back into the pack, too, right there. And that just destroyed any car parts just flying everywhere along with people's hopes and dreams. It's just unfortunate what happened there. But I tell you what's not unfortunate. It's time for us to take yet another commercial break so we can hear another word from our exciting sponsors. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When we come back, we're going to have the most special post-race coverage show that you've seen tonight.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
And we are back, and the celebrations have not stopped here for Kenny Powell. He has been continuously burning it down, making his mark at Daytona Super Speedway. What a excellent race for Powell. This is what he needs. This was a fairy tale ending for Kenny Powell, especially in the points. He is definitely going to need this. Still waiting on everybody to get collected here for our post-race show, but man, what a race it was. That last lap was insanity. Heart goes out to all those guys that were just involved in that huge accident there. Do believe we have our top 3 here in the booth. Chris Severa, man, what a ending to this race. I mean, it was G&G pretty much racing for it, but I mean, we saw Chad Sullivan. You like you were willing to work with him there for a while. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, so I knew it was going to be Chris and Kenny, and I couldn't work with Kenny because of the points. So Chad was the best bet. And on that last lap there, I was telling Chad to go high, it looked like he went and moved up, and as he went to straighten the car back out, it just got loose on him and he just lost it. Um, so it's kind of unfortunate there. I feel like we would have been able to go around him on the outside there. Because my engine was good. I would have been able to push there all the way back around. But yeah, no, I mean, it was decent working with him all throughout that last run. We were able to, make it a 4-car battle there for the end. And it luckily it turned into a little bit of a brawl, and that was pretty fun.
I say we saw you and Chris Johnson there beating and banging, even going across the line. Were you worried at any point that the second pack was going to catch you guys? Because I know y'all were battling so hard, and we saw Brian Johnson was really starting to reel y'all in.
I didn't even think to look in the mirror for it. So I don't really know how close they were. I figured we had enough of a gap to do what we needed to do. But yeah, I don't think they would have gotten there, but I don't know.
Well,
It
they
was
definitely didn't get
interesting.
there because Chad Sullivan was like a wrecking ball. Whenever you spun out, off of like you said, he got loose there and went off the track down onto the apron and then came right back up into the other pack and literally just he might not have got a strike, but he definitely knocked down most of the pins that were in that second pack. It was unfortunate to see, but man, those guys were definitely catching you guys, and what a race! I mean, this race turned out, I think, even more exciting than Thursday. I mean, man, how are you feeling? I mean, third place. I know you're still probably our points leader, but Kenny Powell, he got the win. Now he's closing in on you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to compete for first 2 stages there, but it is what it is. So yeah, I think that'll help close the gap, but other than that, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, walk us through that. We saw a little issue there with Kenny Powell. I think gave you a little bit of a errant bump there, and you went down into the grass. Did you get a penalty?
Yeah, we went through pit road, so we got passing, speeding, all that iRacing BS for stuff that happens in a caution or in a wreck. That's kind of unavoidable. So it's unfortunate. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, 100%. But you still managed to fight your way back up to third. Got your lap back, and you were doing a heck of a job. Even when you were a lap down, you were really pushing. So man, I mean, I know Kendall LeBron probably owes you a beer for pushing him to that stage win.
Yeah, it was good coming through the pack with him. Fortunately, we broke away from him. He was my first car I would have liked to go to there to work for towards the end, but unfortunately we, just didn't line up there.
All right, after your third place here tonight at Daytona, how are you feeling at Darlington next week? I mean, I know that's a driver's track, and you're a heck of a driver. What are you feeling?
Yeah, definitely gonna need to practice a bit more than what we've had for races beforehand. Just 'cause like you said, it's all about just how you attack the track. And I know last time we were there, we were not even in the ballpark. So definitely gonna need to do a lot more work this weekend.
All right, so definitely a lot of preparation ahead for you. Well, man, after a third place finish, who can we shout out tonight?
Hey guys at Gas and Go, Fanatec, Team Watson Racing Setups, Advanced Sim Racing, Apex Sim Racing, and NRG Innovations for all the equipment. Tucson Sound Art for sponsoring the series, and you guys as always.
All right, Chris, well, we definitely appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
That is Chris Severa, your third place finisher here tonight. Big Al's got Chris Johnson waiting, second place.
Chris Johnson's Big Al up in the booth, man. Congratulations on bringing it home. P2 qualified 7th, second place in the first stage. But what I want to ask you is, what happened to stage 2? Looks like you and Brian just hit a parachute or something that kind of pulled you all the way back to 10th.
Well, that's what happens when you lose energy. I mean, guys behind me, I don't know who was behind me, but the top line kind of lost that energy, and it kind of got put on my shoulders to kind of push Brian, gain that energy back, and it relied so much on me that I was just overheating my car to a point where I was borderline blowing up. So it's just part of super speedway racing.
So was your car not fast enough to be out front, or did you just lose the coin toss to be the pusher?
I think me and Brian running same thing. It's plenty fast enough. It's just whose cars you match up with. I know that it was more difficult tonight than it was Thursday to push, and I don't know if that's an iRacing thing or a weather thing, but Thursday we were able to make the top line work, and the today it just didn't happen as good.
Do you think that might be as a result of fewer cars?
It might be, that it the way that this drafting package is, it's weird sometimes. It could be because of the less cars.
Yeah. So when you guys were, how was the air affecting your car? Did you find yourself to be pretty squirrely, or did you think you had a pretty good hold on it the majority of the evening?
Oh, I had a pretty good hold on it. It felt just as good as it did Thursday. Is just the top lane and the bottom lane, energy wise, was different tonight.
Yeah, and so coming down to the wire there, you had to make a choice there. Looks like you were committed to your G&G teammate Kenny Powell as you did push him to the victory. Did you have any aspirations, I guess, of winning this thing yourself? I did notice that you and Severa were banging door to door coming down to the wire, but did you see yourself actually in a victory circle, or are you happy with your second place finish?
When they bobbled off of turn two, I knew I lost it. I think I was in the lead by, a couple seconds or half a second. And, at that point I knew I lost it because those guys were gonna fly by me. I know Kenny came up and gave me a shove and he thought better of it and, took it from me. But yeah, I mean it is what it is. I was the unlucky duck that got stuck out. But congratulations to Kenny Powell. I know over the past few weeks we've had our differences. Him being a team owner and all. I gotta learn my place, but still, congratulations to Kenny Powell, and we'll see him at Darlington.
Yeah, man, you got nothing to hang your head about. You guys brought a hot rod here tonight, man, and you made a lot of good decisions and smart choices to put yourself in the position to possibly win this thing at the end. Next week, we're going to Darlington. That track right there has been labeled the one that's too tough to tame, I guess. So, what are your thoughts about going into this track?
Darlington for me is kind of a hit and miss. It just depends on the track. They're constantly updating that track. It could be slick, it could be grippy. You could have that death wobble. It just depends what Darlington we're going to get next week.
Well, Big Al's always in the predictions, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you to roll your clairvoyant dice and let me know where do you project yourself being at once that checkered flag waves next Saturday.
Most definitely top 10. Hopefully, if I'm able to pull out a top five, I'd be more than happy.
Well, all right, as this point season gets ready to come to an end, man, so does our time here this evening. But before I let you go, Mr. Johnson, who you shouting out tonight?
Of course, Southern Spiral Pipe, Butt Kicker, Tucson Sound Art, all y'all up in the booth, and G&G. I know Chris, Brian, Kenny, all them, spend time working on the setups, and yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your post race celebrations, and hopefully, we'll see you on the podium next week as well.
Thank you.
And next up, we got our winner here tonight. Kind of a surprise winner. Was definitely up front quite a bit here tonight. Man, just came out of nowhere, got that victory. It was a lot of infighting, I guess, with the team there. You had an unknown element with Chad Sullivan. Kenny, I mean, you got to be happy. We saw you celebrating there for an extended period of time, putting your mark on Daytona.
Yeah, this one finally puts a smile on my face. I do love Daytona. It can be very frustrating sometimes, and I started the week well, and then it just went severely south from there. So I didn't know really how this race was going to be. I came in just in a bad mood, so I just I tried to calm myself and stay poised, stay out of the wrecks, and I knew I'd be there at the end if I had a clean car.
Well, that you did. You had a clean car, and you know really didn't have a whole lot of challenges from just that top four. I mean, it literally was you know your only concern there. You guys were racing each other hard. I mean, man, I mean, what was going through your head there when everybody, you know, it seemed like even your teammates was ditching you, and you didn't you know, you had Chad Sullivan getting turned. I mean, wow.
Yeah, when we started breaking away, I was somewhat I was torn. You know, one, I'm leaving teammates behind. Two, it does make it a four-man race, and you know, being in the points lead with or Chris being in the points lead and me quickly chasing him, I knew that if it was only the four of us, you know, we were going to solidify, you know, 1 through 4 there somehow or another. And you know, if the pack had been with us, maybe you know some more mix-ups would have happened. But it was evident we were definitely breaking away. And yeah, so for 20 laps, I'm going through scenarios in my head. How the heck am I going to get to the front?
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of thinking that top four for sure. I mean, did you look at the relative? Did you see that second pack? Because they were coming.
Yeah, I mean, before we started dicing it up, I mean, I think we had 6 second lead on them. I think. So no, it was never a thought in my mind that they were going to catch us at the end. I knew it was, you know, pretty sure it was just the 4 horse battle there.
100%. But I mean, looking at the stats here, Brian Johnson finished about 2.2 seconds back. So I think if they maybe had another lap, especially with the way y'all were driving, they might have caught you guys. But you know, came home with the victory. Going to be a great points day for you. I mean, I know. I think you were 11 points away from Chris Severa before coming into this race, and you know, I think you even probably managed to get some stage points over him. I know that he was a lap down for a lot of the race. So I mean, you might be a lot closer than we even think.
Yeah, I mean, doing my own math, I do think I come out of here with the lead. It's
Wow.
not something I'm going to celebrate. You know, being that I'm the one that caused his unfortunate off track and through pit road and all that mess. So yeah, I don't hang my head high on that one, but it is racing. And we must go around and move on. But yeah, I'm not proud of that.
Well, harping back on that a little bit, Big Al was saying he did it on purpose. So I don't.
No, it definitely wasn't on purpose. You know, it was close to one of the restarts, and we were biting for who was, you know, which line was going to be in control. And I knew that Chris and I had, you know, 2 of the fastest cars out there, and I was pretty sure that we could push. And you know, my thought at that time was to push him up ahead, and then us go to the high line. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah. So I was, you know, I was trying to push him, and made small mistake. I don't know if he bobbled, I bobbled. I hadn't looked at it yet, but it happened.
Definitely can't wait to look at it for sure. But still, coming home with a victory has got to feel really good here. I mean, how are you going to celebrate this one?
Oh man, it's definitely. I'm gonna relax with a drink and just remember this one. It was fun. You know, battling Chris and Chad. You know, all great drivers. I knew it was going to be a fun dice up at the end, and enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, we definitely enjoyed watching it for sure. We were on the edge of our seats there, wondering who was going to win, and you came out on top. Now, momentum coming into Darlington. How are you at Darlington? Do you think you're going to have a chance?
Just like Chris Johnson said, you never know what kind of Darlington you're going to get. Some Darlingtons, I go there and I love the track. Some Darlingtons, I go there and I feel like I'd never driven the track before. So hopefully it's not the latter. Hopefully it's the first. And I'm definitely going to put the miles in it, the effort in it. And if I'm not in front of Chris, I'm going to be right behind him.
I don't know. That sounds a little bit ominous, but we appreciate you, man. After your victory here tonight for the Tucson Sound Dart 250, who can we shout out?
Definitely got to shout out Tucson Sound Dart and Robert Pattengale. You know, they've been a great sponsor. This is, I guess they got one more race. They're going to move on. We're going to have a new sponsor for next series, but definitely thank him. Thank you guys in the booth, and everybody that races with us, and definitely the team G&G. We put in the hours, have a lot of fun, and had a rocket ship this week.
Yeah, definitely seemed like you guys did for sure. Can't wait to see what you guys bring to Darlington. And I made a little mistake. There's actually the Tucson Sound Dart 200. My mistake there. But can't wait to see you next week, Kenny. Appreciate your time.
All righty.
That is Kenny Powell, our winner here tonight. Definitely, what a race that was. Man, we saw all kinds of action. We saw some 2 wide, we saw some 3 wide. Then we saw it to where it was almost like some tandem racing. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going back to 2011 here in this race. Big Al, any final thoughts?
Yeah, glad it's over. I mean, this was definitely this track has been, uh, man, it's been an emotional week for a lot of people, and I think I echo a lot of folks when I say glad it's over. But also, man, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to the ISCA, Tucson Sound Art, and to you, the best assistant here I have on Saturday evenings, my man.
100%. No problem at all bringing you your coffee. Um, I do want to take a moment, Joe, to shout out one unsung hero tonight. Got to give him a shout out. Derek Jacobs getting the pole earlier today. I think that was his first pole he's ever gotten here in the ISCA. Love to see it, and can't wait to see more good things. And from a lot of drivers out here, we saw at Daytona. You know, a lot of drivers we don't really see up front, and glad to see some of those guys making their marks out there in the ISCA. And with that, I do believe that draws us to our conclusion here. Make sure you tune in on Thursday. That is when Darlington is going to be rearing its track too tough to tame head there as tune in around 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Race goes green around 9:30, 9:35 p.m. So make sure you tune in for that one. That one's going to be a bare knuckle boxing match for sure. And also make sure if you want to keep track of this series here, tune in on Saturday around the same time. And with that, I think that draws us to our conclusion. Thanks everybody for watching.